Hello my fellow Retromaniacs and welcome back to Let's Read GamesMaster UK issue number 1 from January 1993. Part 4. Yeah, this is the reason why I usually don't read full magazines, because it takes so long to read them, and I haven't even read the articles. I've only read the summaries and checked the images, but still takes very long to get through all these 140 pages. Maybe the next issue has fewer pages. Maybe this was some kind of special double-sized issue because it was the first one. I don't know. So it isn't Street Fighter 2, and I didn't expect it to be, but I think it would be a bit better than this Pit Fighter for Master System. A bit more button bashing even than a game 20. Yeah, I think there's no good fighter games for 8-bit consoles. At least I'm not aware of any good fighting game. All Street Fighter ports were terrible for Game Boy and 8-bit computers. So yeah, I think well, maybe nowadays there's homebrews and remakes that actually play well. I wonder how many. I was thinking that there are many homebrew developers that create games for Game Boy, NES, Amiga, Commodore 64, Spectrum, but how many people make MS-DOS games, new homebrew MS-DOS games? So, for example, it would be nice to see someone skilled to port Mega Man or Street Fighter 2 for MS-DOS, because those two games have a DOS port, but they suck. So I think there would be a nice chance to improve those games on MS-DOS, but it seems that DOS is somehow neglected nowadays. It's not popular with homebrew game makers. Maybe it's because the tools were quite limited. Either you create a game with assembly, or maybe C++. I don't know. What would be very specific, if you want to emulate 386 CPU or 486, but then you have to be careful not to make the game run too fast. So it's rather tricky, and you would have to emulate Sound Blaster card as well. Or do you want to have a Roland sound? I don't know. Maybe there are homebrew game makers who specialized on MS-DOS games, but I have not seen too many new games released for MS-DOS or Windows 3.1 for that matter. There's a niche system for you to make new Windows 3.1 games. Well, some games worked very well, like Lemmings and SimCity. So, Chip Challenge on Windows 3.1 is a great version. So yeah, there's a market. I don't know if it's very popular market, but if you want to try something else, try to create a game for Windows 3.1. Oh yeah, I think I read this already. Let's see what we have. Spider-Man 2, 62. Yeah. When they say that the game is from Acclaim, it doesn't mean that the developer, but the publisher. So it's a little bit confusing, you know. And I think that was often the case. Like you would have like a Nintendo game. You thought that, oh, this is Nintendo. This game was made by Nintendo, but no, some were made some like HAL or what was that, another company, or like Metroid Prime. Well, it's a Nintendo game, but it wasn't created by Nintendo. So yeah. So just naming the publisher is not telling about who made the game. Like LJN game, you could say that the game is LJN game because it sucks, but usually there were many developers for LJN, like Rare, but still it's a Rare game. Rare had many Rare games were wonderful, so I don't know. So there's a lot gone into this game with 6 big levels, Sun, Ming, Guardians, and lots of places to explore. The controls often get on top of you though, and the gameplay tends towards being both mindless and repetitive. It's nothing special basically. Yeah, I think Game Boy is one system that I played the least. I mean the major systems, maybe Sega Master System is another one, and Amiga as well, but it's like the Game Boy games, they are so like shrunken versions usually from the... If they're like a Spider-Man game or something else, there's usually better version available. I played the Mega Man games on Game Boy and they were quite good. So there are some like classics on Game Boy as well, but especially like ports are usually like inferior in every term, in every aspect. So Spider-Man probably something you should play, and I think it's outside. It's playable on like Super NES. So it's like the worst version usually on Game Boy. If it's not like specifically made for Game Boy, like Secret of Mana or Final Fantasy Adventure, which I should continue at some point. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should play more original Game Boy. Game Gear as well. I have not played too much Game Gear because, again, most of them are like ports from Mega Drive games, and inferior ones as well. It's a nice game which can be difficult at times. Short and sweet. If only there was more. What if all boils down to... What it all boils down to is a perfect conversion of the Mega Drive version. 84, okay. Game Gear 1, Game Boy 0. And then we have Pinball Fantasies for Amiga. This is a... I have not played this, but I've heard a lot good about it, so... Let's see. Pinball Fantasies is just so fast and frantic that you can't help but like it. With 4 tables and up to 8 players, it It's the ultimate pinball game out there. It's fast becoming the office game. There's no trade-off between graphics and gameplay. You really do get both of the best worlds. Yeah, 90. I don't know if this was released on other consoles, maybe MS-DOS, probably. Maybe Mega Drive, I don't know. But you know, I'm not too big of pinball fan myself. I always sucked with the, like, physical pinballs. You know, I have a very like bad memories of being some in amusement park. There being a pinball, I would ask a coin from my parents, and then like I would lose all the 3 balls within a minute. Game over. Waste of money. Well, it was a skill issue, I know it, but I don't know. I liked arcade games better, like, you know, Hydro Thunder or Sega Rally. Pinball, I always felt like waste of money with my skill. McDonald Land 41, or I think this was quite good. You know, it was very late NES title, and it had like Super Mario Bros. 3. Here it says Super Mario Bros. 2 elements, but Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. So I don't know. Maybe they thought that this would be like, this is like stealing from those games. But I think this is one of the better games, despite for NES, despite being a like licensed game. Just another bog standard platform game. Despite the novelty value of the McDonald's tie-in, there's really not much to separate this from the rank file of runny jumpers. It may well keep you happy until the next Mario outing, but only until then. Yeah, it would take a long until there's a new Mario game, because you know the next Mario game maybe would be Yoshi's Island in 1995, but yeah, in 1993 it was a long way until a new Mario game, although Mario Land 2 was just out. Like, I guess you could call those CDI games also Mario games, and then there was like Mario's Time Machine, but there's just entertainment games. Yeah, I think this had like neat ideas. Like, I remember like Mike and Bootsy played this. There's like also reverse gravity stages where you have to like platform upside down. That's an interesting idea. Okay, what is this? Oh, it's just the advert. Subscribe. Is this the very best Nintendo special total 1993? Over 250 tips, cheat codes and to blow those games apart. Super Mario 3, Mario Land, Super Mario Bros. 4. What? Wait a second. What are you talking about? Was it Super Mario World already out? You know, this is 1993. So Super Mario Bros. Super Mario World had been out already. What are you talking about? Maybe they don't know how to call Super Mario World. They call it Super Mario Bros. 4. Anyway. Okay, someone who scanned this Subscriber was 13-year-old female. School. Likes to ride bikes, watch sports. What game machines do you own? Super NES. Which game? Super Kickoff. Super Street Fighter 2. Streets of Rage. Really? Oh wait a second, male. I was thinking that, well, we have a manly female player, but no. It's just some teenager. Some boy. Okay, who likes platform games and beat 'em ups and arcade adventures. But not puzzlers. Because that's like school, almost like school simulation strategy games. Yeah, I think strategy games had like bad reputation in the 90s. They were like for geeks, like Dungeons and Dragons, who played like physical role-playing games. I think it was until, you know, Pokemon made role-playing games and Age of Empires made strategy games. Like a casual genre. And Red Alert maybe as well. And obviously Civilization, but I think some of these were like for nerds. Casual gamers in the 90s, they only played like Sonic and Mario and Mortal Kombat and then maybe Street Fighter 2 and Tekken. I think Final Fantasy 7 was another high point for introducing fantasy role-playing games to casual gamers. And for strategy games, I think yeah, Civilization and maybe like StarCraft as well. But yeah, I think these days like RPG games are the most popular genre after FPS games. I'm not sure, but yeah, some genres are like totally gone nowadays, like sports sims. I think it's like EA doesn't even make new FIFA game or NHL game nowadays. Beat 'em ups are completely gone if you don't take account homebrew or indie games. Driving games are, well, they are not dead, but with GamesMaster being killed by EA, it's not going strong with the driving games. Well, you have Assetto Corsa, but yeah, I would like to see more competition in there. Okay, what do we have here? Sega Mega Drive, win! Call now! Win a Super Nintendo, what is this? Make sure you ask your parents' permission before you call. I don't think it's like free money. Make kids call a pay line and give away like some console worth of £200. Yeah. I resent that kind of money making. Stealing money from kids who don't know better. Win a copy of Sonic 2. Wow, what is this? Video game preserver. Old Super NES cartridge and 30-page instruction booklet. What? Just some case. Protects video game cartridges from moisture and dust. Constructed of prime clarity grade high impact material for durability. Okay. Well, I think you know, collectors still have these kinds of cases, so maybe for someone who was into collecting already in the 90s, but this only like you can only put the cartridge there. You shouldn't even open the box if you want to collect, preserve the game. So not a good idea. This guy, I wonder who this is. Probably some famous actor, UK actor. Yeah, I should watch at least one episode of the GamesMaster TV show to know what's going on. Who's this cyborg father brain dude? Well, I think he's called GamesMaster, but you know, what's his story? Okay, well, we have tips shown. Okay. Oh, so they have like both reviews and then they have like small guides. Krusty's Funhouse. Yeah, these were quite neat addition when you like in video games you were stuck and there was no internet to like read and check game facts. No, unless you had this kind of like Nintendo Power or magazines, yeah, with tips, you were stuck. Well, you could call on those hotlines. Tips hotlines, but yeah, this was maybe easier because in order to like them to give you hints without like any visuals, and you could even like record the call, so you would forget all the advices. But here at least you have visual references. What to do? What is this? What level this is? How to complete the level? This is level 1. I think I tried to play this game, but I didn't get too far. Yeah, I like you know, reading all kinds of like game guides, strategy guides, because the visuals are so neat here. And again, they've done so seamless work here to like stitch all these pictures together. Must have been very hard work with their technology, because they couldn't just rip the data from the ROM. So they had to like take another picture, and take another picture, and then like align them together. If there was, and make sure that the lighting and the exposure of the camera was identical. I think they were shooting these from TV, or maybe they actually managed to record this in some kind of capture card. I don't know. It was still like 1992, so I don't know if the technology was there to capture high quality images from analog source. It was probably like when MPEG-2 video format was introduced, and first capture cards could do like full SD resolution captures. Then you could have like good quality digital images out of analog video source, but yeah, this was still the early days. WizKid, UK's #1 video game club. Yes, there are so many like different video game stores and sellers in the UK compared to Finland. Zool, cheat, type goldfish. You will give access to 3 rather useful functions. Make Zool invincible. Next stage, like debug menu, debug features will skip the level entirely. Warning, although we at GamesMaster specialize in cheating, the activity in general is not, we repeat, not big, clever or hard in any way whatsoever. Just look at all those famous cheats through history. Judas Iscariot, Richard Nixon, Ben Johnson. I mean, you wouldn't want to be tarred with the same grubby brush as that lot, would you? Of course not. Yeah, I guess they're trying like, okay, you can cheat in video games, but don't cheat at school. You will become like Richard Nixon. You wouldn't be remembered as the next Nixon, now would you? Okay. Yeah, at some point there was like CD-ROM, like game magazines that had like videos and tips in video form, which helped a lot. These are just screenshots, so they had to like make a decision at what parts they just omit and what parts they show, because they can't show the whole level map here. Although here they tried, you can see that it's repeating the top line here. That's quite seamless as well. Seamless stitching. Although they missed one here. There's black hole here. White hole. Whoa. Yeah, I've seen this handy boy in AVGN's video about Game Boy accessories. Handy carry. Extra protection. Screen cover. Huh. So many stupid accessories. Oh, Link to the Past. Map, hookshot. Using the boomerang, gloves. There are 3 types of glove. The normal one, which you start off with, the power glove, and Titan Smith. The power glove can be found in the Desert Palace in the Light World, and it will enable you to pick up skulls, small stones, and large light green rocks. Titan Smith will enable you to pick up very large boulders. You can find it in the 4th dungeon in the Dark World. Yeah, they're not giving the specifics. Sora's flippers. So as soon as you have the power glove, go to the top right of the Light World. so small text, with at least 500 rupees and ask for the flippers. When Sora appears, you will now be able to swim. Okay. I think they expect that people who have Zelda: A Link to the Past have read like Nintendo Power and seen all the tips and guides from that magazine, so they don't want to repeat and dedicate too many pages for Link to the Past. I was wondering how was Link to the Past released? I think 1992. It was still a quite new game by that point. But many times, you know, in these like tip sections, they even have like old games, and especially if they have like text questions and answers, they can be like even 5-year-old games, and also like repeating old tips, because you know you would not probably always buy the latest GamesMaster, so you would occasionally miss some issue. Like I would usually buy only like 4 or 5 game magazines per year. I was never a subscriber, so only if I had like extra money or it was like cover which looked very captivating, like it was about Mario or Zelda or Pokemon, I would buy the magazine. But usually, you know, I would not use my money for gaming magazines each month. I would save that for the games. And people tend to forget that there were other things. You know, I was spending a lot of money for like DVDs in the early 2000s. And, you know, before that it was maybe like VHS tapes. Also there was like comic books as well. And like, you know, candy, whatever you like, toys maybe. So yeah, just there was not enough money for all that, so sometimes you would spend all your money for candy. Other times you would save it and buy magazines like a DVD or VHS tape, or just rent a VHS tape. Sometimes you would just hope that you would get the thing for free from your parents if you ask enough. And usually you would have to wait till like birthdays and Christmas to get the stuff you wanted. Shadow of the Beast for what's this, for Amiga version, I guess. It's a very hard game. I think I tried to play this, and even with like a save states, this was a very difficult game. Stay alive. What is this? Putty? Silly putty. Okay. I have not played this game. Techno Fear, level 3. Power up. Uncle Ted. What are these power-ups? False teeth. The Weasel power. Is this piracy game? Or the high seas? Okay. Or is this Microprose. It's like same, or Vegas. Is this Sid Meier's pirate game? International Computer Entertainment LT. No. Because I think Sid Meier's pirate game is called something else. Yeah, this doesn't look too good. What we have here, Olympic Gold for which console? The closest you can get to athletics. Sega machines. Okay. 100-meter hurdles. Game Gear Master System Mega Drive. Yeah, usually in these games there's no strategy. You just have to smash buttons or like smash 2 buttons in pattern as fast as possible. Unless there's like diving, then it might be more complex. But yeah, I didn't like any like sports games. They usually sucked. The best sports games I have played is probably like, well, motorsport and hockey games and football games, but like athletic games, nah. Okay, action replay and game genie codes. If I only had those back in the days. All plants are coins, Pope locks. Let's change it to other things. Okay, quite lame codes. Why is there no like invincibility code or unlimited time for Super Mario Bros. 3? Okay, indestructible. That's useful. Limited energy. Well, you're not gonna ever end the round if each player has unlimited energy. Guess it's just for the practice then. Just play as long as you want. Mario and a fashion-conscious turtle show a similar taste of in hats. What? It's just the same color. Super Mario Bros. 1. Secret water level. Oh, it's like minus world levels. Where you can kind of swim on mid-air. The Flintstones. Infinite lives, but no. Okay, infinite energy. Yeah. I think nowadays, there's no reason to use any like action replay and game genie codes when you have rewind save states, unless you wanna just explore different cheat codes, like there's this light speed mode, like moon jump or something like that. I think I've done like a couple of videos where I like do let's cheat, try different cheat codes, but they're usually quite boring, the cheat codes. If you just kind of float or jump higher, okay, cool, but then what? It's not like helping you to play the game. So usually the action replay and game genie codes are quite boring, but then you have like if the developers had like their own codes, like Codemasters usually had their like some funny codes, or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had some like funny codes you could input. They are for good laugh. But usually the like the codes made with hacking the memory places that they are just usually about, you know, jumping higher or level skip or like invincibility. So I don't know, they are not too interesting to try. Consolidation chamber. Okay, like very specific hints here. Super Mario World. After completion of 95 levels, many people are confused as to the location of the 96th level. Where is it to be found? The simple answer to this is that it could be anywhere. You should certainly check the final ghost house in the Valley of Bowser. Also check all the sages in the Forest of Illusion. Apart from that, there isn't much you can do apart from going back, retracting your steps. Another little story which is currently doing the rounds is that of a 97th level in the sunken ship. But quite simply, this is a falsehood. There is no such level, so don't even think of looking for it. Don't spend hours pulling your hair out. Read the tips below to save those ever so high wig bills. Okay. So the hint is that there is no secret levels. Actually... Oh, I thought this was a pilot wings, but it looks very similar. Dragon punch. Shoryuken! Hadouken! Pull down and circle the pad diagonally down and then away from your opponent. This time use a kick button. Strong is a kick to the faster you move. Yeah, I never mastered Hurricane Kick. Usually just spammed Fireball when I played Street Fighter 2 with Ken or Ryu. Prince of Persia. Tricky game this one. Right, so when you come to a point in the game where you have to face your own reflection, instead of fighting him, simply put your sword away and walk past him. If you try and fight him, you lose. Yeah. Some magic trickery from the Knights of 1001 stories. Shoulder dash. Hook. I'm sure. You have not played too many games mentioned here. Like there's a Strike Hunter. They don't even say what game this, what version they are referring over. It's like Amiga, all they're all Amiga games. Okay. So NES, The Simpsons. There's no such games as The Simpsons. It's the Bart versus Space Mutants, but I guess it was the first game, so they just call it The Simpsons. Super Mario Bros. For those of you having a bit of problem of finding the Hammer Brothers suit, worry no more. Go to the second mushroom house in World 6 and open the middle box. Inside you'll find a suit. But isn't that the second mushroom house like hidden in like somewhere? You have to get like a, I don't know. Mega Man 3. Some of you are having a bit of trouble with this game and would like to see the end of the game. Simply enter the screenshot shown here and you will be taken to Dr. Willy's castle with 5 full energy tanks. Okay, but isn't there still like multiple levels in Dr. Willy's castle? If you keep getting stuck at the end of a level 4 and Frankenstein and Iger keep killing you, try this tip for size. First get the fireball, which is the best weapon to have. You get to the 2 bosses, jump onto the block on the right, kneel down and whip as fast as you can. When Iger moves, step aside to avoid his fireballs. You do this, keep whipping Frankenstein. Do this a few times and they should soon be dead. Yeah, these are useful. But the thing was that I was so late, you know, in video games. I was still playing Super NES games in 1998. So in 1998 all the magazines only had like PlayStation 1 or N64 tips. No one talked about Super NES, so I should have been reading like 3-5-year-old magazines to have like any useful tips for Super NES. Yeah, it wasn't until like GameCube I was playing a console that was just out. You know, I only got the N64 in 1999, so I was even there. I was a few years late. Okay, what we have here? Okay, market. Selling stuff. What the hell is this? Amiga A600. I didn't know that exists. I only know about Amiga 500 and Amiga 1200. Yeah, they're not really trying to sell this as a like a do your homeworks and do some text editing. No, just games. TV modulator. Can you watch TV on this? Panasonic printing. Yeah, even these adverts are quite interesting to read. These old magazines. I make a CD to TV. Wow. The problem with any new product is that it always takes time for everyone to realize its full potential. CD TV is no exception, and in our opinion, everything we have read does a pretty poor job of explaining just what CD TV can do and why it is so exciting. Lemmings for CD TV. It's a CD player, it's an Amiga, it's a multimedia system. But then there was a CD32. So yeah, TV monitor feature available separately. Amiga CD TV player, CD TV keyboard, disk drive, remote control, wide mouse. Welcome to this manual fresh here. But I think the CD TV the games where they're like specifically tailored versions for CD TV where the games just Amiga versions. If they were sold as disk drive, then they wouldn't have any like CD audio. Maybe some games actually came on a CD, so they would have like CD audio. I think you can like play CD TV on Amiga emulator, but I have not played. Yeah, and it seems that there were a lot of like CDs or like educational multimedia stuff here, like cookbook, Guinness World of Records. So, and And even the games are quite boring here. Trivial Pursuit. SimCity. Yeah, I should check this CD-TV game library better. Maybe there are some good games. I don't know if they were some games were for CD32 as well. I don't know. Amiga CD-TV, external hard disk drive, SCART TV monitor lead, Amiga 570, external CD drive, encyclopedia. We have here Amiga 1500. Okay. Yeah, I always got confused with Amiga. There's so many different models and not all are like good for gaming. And many games were anyway developed for Amiga 500 in mind, so they wouldn't like be exclusive to later Amiga models because they wanted to sell the game, and most people had the old Amiga 500, so they couldn't really make separate versions for different Amiga computers. So not many exclusive games for later Amigas. Very cheap Super Nintendo. America. Cool. Oh, we have a comic here. This console is great. It's my turn. No, it's mine. My turn. Shut up! Game over. Now look what you made me do. I'll kill you! What they need is a game for 2 players. Why don't they buy a new one? Use voice. Because they're too expensive, stupid. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a little brother to kill. Why not call the Tottenham Court Road Computer Exchange? They buy and part exchange types of bargains. Oh, it's just an advert. I thought this was like part of GamesMaster. Usually you would have a like official magazine comic strip. Super Coltron. It's almost like Castlevania ripoff by Titus. It's not a good sign when it's made by Titus. What the hell is this horoscope? Why would I want to read about horoscopes in gaming magazines? Usually gamers are very like scientific persons, nerds. They are atheists. They don't believe in supernatural things like horoscopes. What's this? The Absolute Tragic GamesMaster Christmas board game. Oh, interesting. Sonic Super Jump. Go forward 5 squares. Yeah, well, they could have made a little bit more graphical board game than just squares. It's boring to look at, boring to play as well. Are you a GamesMaster? Who is James Bond's uncertain art nemesis? Oh, it's like a quiz. Which Street Fighter 2 character is the most shocking of all? Blanka? Who is the tallest Street Fighter 2 character? It's Sagat. Where are the answers? Oh, okay. Can you win something? Maybe they tell in the next magazine. Alien vs Predator, Terminator 2, Superstar Wars. February issue. Wing Commander. Curse of Enchanta. By Core Design Limited. Number 1. Ocean. Push over. Christmas. Ooh, so many. Okay, retro mags. Okay, so that was that. Yeah, I would like to read some other retro gaming magazines as well. There's so many, as you can see. Like maybe some other years. Maybe check some like magazines in you know, made in United States. They probably have some different focus point on games than UK. I think UK wants to talk about their own developers' games like Ocean and so on, but they probably talk more about Sega and Amiga than Nintendo. So I would like to read some US magazines as well. It would be nice to read some other language magazines, but I can't read French or German either. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.